What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Trey Sense, and what I got for you today is, well, it's that time of the week again. We're gonna go over the fragrances that I wore this past week and tell you what my thoughts on them are, whether I got compliments, stuff like that. So if that type of thing interests you, meet me on the other side of this intro and we're gonna bust it open, break it down, and get right into it. See you in a tick. What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. It's that boy Trey Sense. Listen, got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. Another week has gone by and I want to talk to you about the fragrances that I wore this week, starting with Sunday. No further ado, let's get right into it. You ready? All right, let's get it. Sunday, from the house of Sensual Obsessions, I wore one called Sky High. And I like this one. It has a little bit of a fruity feel to it, but it also has a Middle Eastern cannabis hemp type of vibe to it. I like it a lot. Very complex fragrance. At the same time, it's deep, it's rich, but it's something I think you can wear in any type of weather. It's been a cool but rainy week to start the week here, and as the week went on, the temperature warmed up. But I like it. I like it a lot. Again, it's going to remind you of a Middle Eastern fragrance from the house of Sensual Obsessions. It is Sky High. I don't remember getting a compliment on that one, but I enjoyed it. I kept smelling it. And of course, with most Sensual Obsession fragrances, you're going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of longevity. If you spray it on your clothes, it's going to be there for several days. So, and I wear an apron at work, and a lot of times I hit myself with, I spray my fragrance on that apron. Excuse me. And yeah, it lasts throughout the shift. All right, that's what I wore Sunday. Moving along to Monday. The weather started to get a little bit warmer. It was pretty, I remember that much, but it was still a little bit cool. But I had an easy, chill day before work, and I wanted to go with something easy and chill from the house of Marc Ecko. It is Marc Ecko Green. And I hit myself with this one. This one, easy to wear type of scent, fresh. And I used to see these quite a bit in the rack stores. I don't anymore, and I am glad to have them in my collection. As you see, the levels are about right there. That fingerprint magnet / mirror right there. The levels on this are pretty high. But I picked this up at Burlington many years ago. Man, I don't think I was even married when I picked this up. I think I was dating my now ex-wife. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty sure I was, and this one was a very inexpensive fragrance. I got it for about $19, $20 for a 4.2 ounce. I think this is a 4.2 ounce. Maybe it's a 3.4. Let me see if I can see that. I cannot make that out. These old eyes. Oh, there it is, 3.4 ounce. So it's 100 mil. And what you get with this one, it's a little bit more than a dumb reach, a little bit more than an easy grab and go fragrance, though it is that. It has sort of a appley vibe to it, but not, it doesn't put you in the mind of a red fragrance. It does smell good. It's just an easy, casual type of scent that for me is perfect for days spent around the house doing absolutely nothing, which is what I did before work Monday, and I like it a lot. Age group, I would recommend Marc Ecko Green. Age group I would recommend this for, I'll say 21 and up. I couldn't see a high school kid reaching for this. You'd be surprised. I don't remember longevity on it being anything stellar, and I wore it here at the house, so I didn't get any compliments. I was by myself, but nonetheless, Marc Ecko Green, a nice one for chill, lazy, relaxing, just being chill at the house. For that evening, I had to go to work, and I just felt like keeping it in the house of Marc Ecko. So I wore Marc Ecko Blue. And this one I did get some compliments. Now this one is a sweet blue fragrance, and it surprised me. It lasted throughout the duration of my shift, which is 5 hours. And this one is a compliment getter. I used to be friends with a young lady who was actually a fragrance rep. Back in the day when they used to have those people outside the mall, outside the stores in the mall, and they would, spray fragrances as you walk by, and here, smell this. Well, that's what she did for a living. And out of all the fragrances that she mentioned, Marc Ecko Blue was one of her favorites. And we're talking about dealing with all the name brand designers, the Dior, the Chanel's, all that. Marc Ecko Blue was her favorite. And I like Marc Ecko Blue. It's a little bit clean. It's a little bit musky. But it definitely comes off as very, very clean. It almost act like it wants to go just a little bit soapy, but it doesn't. And again, I used to see these all the time. It is a basic scent. There's nothing overly complex about this fragrance, but guys, I'm telling you, it's something about a simplistic fragrance that just works well. I don't know if it's because it mixes in better with our chemistries and our bodies and does its thing. I can't tell you. But all I know is sometimes keeping it simple is the best way to smell nice. And I've gotten compliments from fragrances that I didn't think I would get compliments on because they're just simple and easy. And then I've worn fragrances that I thought, man, I'm gonna kill them with this, and nobody say a word. But I did get compliments on this, and it was just, you smell good. As I sit here, I'm trying to think of fragrances that it reminds me of. Maybe a little bit of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, but way toned down and way cleaner. So if Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce had a cologne concentration, this would be it, and that's what it would be called, Fierce Cologne. Way toned down, a little bit of sweetness. It is a nice fragrance though. The simplicity of this fragrance, in my opinion, is what makes it nice, and it does smell good. And it did last a decent amount of time on my skin. And that's what I wore Monday, Tuesday, laying around the house. And it's good to have friends and to know people. If I can find it. Okay, what did I do with that one? It seems to have disappeared on me. I'm gonna need that in just a second. There it is. I'm gonna need that fragrance right there in just a second. From the house of Perry Ellis. A friend of mine, Mr. Eccles, was so gracious enough to get me a sample of a fragrance that he found. And it was Perry Ellis, I think it's Old Red. It's popping up a lot right now at the rag stores. I like the scent profile of this fragrance. But when I sprayed it on, I was instantly reminded of something from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. Well, maybe not instantly, as it dried down. And in my opinion, what a fragrance dries down to, because that's what you're going to be left with the majority of the time, is the most important to me, because I've been hit with fragrances and I absolutely love the opening. For example, Spice Bomb Fresh. Love the opening of Spice Bomb Fresh. And that's what sold me on the fragrance. But after 15 minutes, that opening is gone and what you have is Spice Bomb. So this one reminded me of, in the dry down, it reminded me of Salvatore Ferragamo. And maybe Per Home. The one that smells like fig. That's what this fragrance reminded me of. Now, it's a good smelling fragrance. It's well made. I get exactly what a lot of these companies are trying to do with these fragrances. They're taking the harshness out of the opening and making them smoother and less loud and less obnoxious, because that gives it a little bit more of a high quality feel. And this fragrance smells good. But I think you can pick it up between $19 and $21. As a matter of fact, Mr. E sent me a picture today and asked me if I wanted it because he had found another bottle, and I was like, nah, I think I'm good on it. I don't remember performance being anything super stellar, but again, I was by myself, so you know, there were no compliments to get or anything like that. And I passed on it. I could have gotten a full bottle of it, and I just passed on it. I mean, maybe I'll find it in the clearance bin. And you know, I'm a huge fan of Perry Ellis fragrances, but this one just doesn't seem to be unique enough for me to get. I pick up on a little bit of freshness, some spice in there. And then to me, and again, I don't do note breakdown for one specific reason. Notes make up accords. Accords give you vibes, and fragrances can have the same type of scent profile and not have any of the same notes because the notes make up accords. So that's why I don't really go into this one has beached H-wood, because you may not even smell that. What you may smell is peach. You know, so good smelling fragrance, and if you see it, you may want to pick it up. I think it's worth purchasing. It's just with my collection, it would be redundant. It also reminds me of several other fragrances that I have from the house of Perry Ellis, like Perry Ellis Spirited comes to mind as well. So Perry Ellis Old Red, I think is what it's called, is a pass for me, but I am very appreciative of that sample, and I like it. I like it a lot. And to go to work that evening, I picked up one in the back of my collection that I picked up in South Carolina one year on vacation. It is from the House of Guess, and it is 1981 Indigo, because the weather has started to warm up a little bit. I really enjoy this fragrance. I really do. I don't know why Guess made it or named it 1981, but what I get from this fragrance is a tropical medley. It's just it reminds me, it almost smells like it's got a little bit of, watch me not be able to think of that note now. Violet leaf. It smells like it's got a little bit of violet leaf in it. Very, very tropical, a great warm weather or cool weather fragrance. This is one of those that I think you can wear year round. And I like this fragrance because it's something about the scent profile of Guess 1981 and Indigo. They both are sort of polarizing. When people smell them, they kind of sniff and go, that fragrance you're wearing smells really good. And I did get some compliments on this one, and it did last the 5-hour shift plus. You know, when I got home, I was still able to pick up on it on my arm and on my hand, and I was pleasantly surprised with the Guess 1981 Indigo. Guess 1981, not Indigo. Revisiting that Perry Ellis, again, good smelling scent, but it's nothing that just wows me. The Marc Ecos are doing their thing. That green is kind of warming up and becoming more masculine. That's one, if you see, I think you should pick up. Maybe if you catch it in a discount bin or anything, it's very inexpensive. Maybe if you just need to fill out an order, if it's still available. I don't check availability before I do these videos. If you can still get it at a reasonable price, meaning under 20 bucks, then I think it's one that you will enjoy. And it's one that you could actually still wear right now, especially if you're in the Southeast. But if you're in those colder states, you'll definitely be able to get a few more weeks, maybe even a month's worth of wear out of it. Now, oh me, can I reach that fragrance? I don't think I can. Oh, what a predicament. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I will. Yep. Okay. Well, there's a will, there's a way. Now, this takes us to Wednesday. Got a phone call from my boy, had to go run an errand from him, and the rain that I knew was coming set in late Tuesday night into all day Wednesday. And I reached for something because I had to go really, really quick, and I just grabbed something, sprayed it on, and it is a great smelling fragrance from the house of Bodman, and it is Lights Out. And as you see, Y'all can make fun of me all you want to. For me, the objective is to smell good and keep some money in my pocket. You see where the levels on this is? It's right there. Now, I know you got a lot of guys in Farrakhan that will turn their nose up at a fragrance like this, and hey, I get it, it ain't for you. This one is very similar to 1 Million Spice Bomb. It's got that sweet, spicy, cinnamony, red hot candy type of vibe. Very strong fragrance, and this is an 8 fluid ounce, 236 mil for about $7. And this Perfumes Decor, honestly, they make solid fragrances. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I guess I'm supposed to lie to you, make it sound fly to you, but I can't. I tell you the truth because I don't get paid for lying to you. I don't get paid for telling you the truth either, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. And if it says Perfumes Decor on it, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a solidly well-made fragrance. It's gonna be a solid fragrance. And this one is no exception. Again, early spring, winter time type of scent. And I remember wearing this to the hospital one time, and every time I went by a nurse, ooh, you smell good, ooh, you smell good, ooh, you smell good. I got more compliments from this than I did Spice Bomb R1 Million or even Spice Bomb Extreme. And it's, for this size bottle, about $7. I'm pretty sure you can still get this at Walmart, but again, think Spice Bomb and think 1 Million, think that spice that's in it. And this little trigger right here, about 3 to 4 sprays and you're good. And because it's gonna put out a lot. It's gonna put out a lot. It's just a good fragrance. It just smells good. Bodman Lights Out. That's what I wore because I had to run real quick and go run an errand for my homeboy. That was Wednesday. And what I wore that night to work as the rain was dissipating and moving out of the show's area, I went with another one from the House of Sensual Obsessions because I got a gift pack and I'm just going through it, spraying. And this one is simply called Nox. And this one, oh my goodness, it just smells good. I mean, these fragrances, and they last and last and last. I highly recommend you go to Sensual Obsessions website, or you hit Kevin up on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you contact with him and say, hey man, hook me up with one of those gift packs that Trey Sense was talking about. High quality cologne oils in this stuff, man. It just smells good. I'm gonna give myself another little spray. I kind of spritzed that one. There we go. I like this fragrance. I do. I don't know what Nox is an imitation of. Oh my goodness. What you get in it is you get a little bit of fruitiness, right? And then you get this note in there that makes it smell very, very masculine, almost like it wants to go barbershop. Very sweet, but not sickening type of sweet. It's a masculine type of sweet. It's not the type of sweet that makes you think, hey, my girl could wear this too. And then at the same time, it's just a hint bit watery. I like this fragrance. I like it a lot. To me, this is full bottle worthy or 30 ml worthy or whatever. I would purchase this in a full bottle. And it's the type of scent that I think you can wear definitely right now. Cool night, cool day, going into the end of spring, first part of summer where we still have some of those cool nights. I think this one will work well. I think any age group can pull this off from maybe 16 up to 65. And I think Nox would work well from the House of Sensual Obsessions. I like that. Nox. And every time I wear these, I get a compliment because when you move with that high concentration of oil on your skin, it just radiates and people love it and they compliment and they compliment and they compliment. Yes, I like that. And that was Wednesday night. Thursday, it was starting to heat up again after the rain. It wasn't extremely warm, so I went with the fragrance that I like a lot. And again, it's one of those fragrances that is sneaky, sneaky good. And I'm glad I picked it up when I saw it. And it's from the house of Tommy Hilfiger, and it is Tommy Hilfiger Summer. And much like Guess 1981, it has a very tropical vibe to it. You see that juice? I'm trying to drop my notebook. You see that juice? You know, fragrances that have that color, that's what it smells like. It's going to remind you a little bit of some of the stuff from Abercrombie and Fitch, like First Instinct and First Instinct together and Extreme. It's going to remind you a little bit of those. It's going to have that same type of vibe, but to me, this one's a little bit smoother, a little bit more well-rounded. I like it. It just reminds me of chilling. And this is one of those fragrances that I talk about all the time, man. When they get in the air and the wind catches it and it comes off of your skin pumping, that's where this fragrance shines. And I also think it's a fragrance that would do pretty good in the high heat as well. It just has a very nice oceany, tropical vibe. It doesn't smell salty or anything like that. It does have an aquatic touch to it, and I like it. Tommy Hilfiger summer. That's what I wore Thursday. Friday was a doctor's appointment day for me, so I was running all day. I had to be at the doctor at 12 o'clock, so I had to leave here about 10. And the fragrance that I went with to wear to the doctor, as it was a pretty warm Friday before the storm set in, because you know, that's what it does here. If it warms up in the spring, it's fixing to rain. From the house of YSL, and this is when it's discontinued. It's hard to get. This is not the best performer in the world. The scent profile is good, but it doesn't perform well. It is from the house of YSL. It is L'Homme Sport. Typical YSL DNA. You have that fresh apple pie type of smell to it. It's not very spicy. It is definitely sweet. A great date night type of scent. I just wish it lasted longer. It's hard to get your hands on this fragrance, and when you do, it's extremely expensive. I traded with JP for this one. I think I sent him Midnight in Paris, and he sent me L'Homme Sport. And if I know JP, he loved that Midnight in Paris, so he's probably gone through that bottle. The Midnight in Paris is definitely a better performer. Definitely a better performer. As far as the scent profile goes, I felt like I got the same type of scent profile from Bodman Black, so it was not a hard trade for me to make. This one I love the scent profile of. I just wish it lasted longer. It just doesn't perform like you hoped it would. It just doesn't. But nonetheless, it still smells good. Goodness. That Bodman just don't want to sit still now. I got back from the doctor, chilled just a minute, and then went for my Friday evening adventures. And what I chose to wear Friday evening, staying in the house of YSL, I went with YSL's L'Homme Intense. And this one is a compliment magnet. It boozy, smooth, leathery goodness. And for the price I got this fragrance at, oh my goodness, and you see I put a little dent in it. This may be one of my favorites from the house of YSL. And I got this big old bottle for, I think, $24, $25 because, excuse me, I got it at Ulta when they were running some type of sale, closeout sale, and I went and I bought 200 mils and then a 50 mil. I think the 50 mil was about 20 bucks. And the 100 mil was like 26. So I got me one. Drove all the way to Tupelo, Mississippi, and picked it up. Then drove all the way to Decatur, Alabama, got another one. But nonetheless, from the house of YSL, it is L'Homme Intense. And that one is a compliment getter. Performance on it is better. Extremely well-made fragrance. That smells good. If you have an opportunity to get that, I definitely think you should. Definitely get that. That takes us to Saturday and the last day before we start all over. And I just felt like reaching in there and getting something out of my collection, and I did. Staying in the line of Marc Ecko. Just reading this real quick, and it is Marc Ecko's United Orange. And this fragrance is sneaky good. It's sneaky good. And again, I wore this Saturday around the house when I was just chilling. I picked up the t-shirt that I've sprayed this on 3 or 4 times just to move it or whatever. Or maybe I put it back on that night when I got back home. And you can still smell the fragrance on this shirt. You can still smell this fragrance. It's light, it's fresh, it's easy. It reminds me of something that Versace would make. In fact, if Versace had made this fragrance, I think it would be a household name. It's one of those fragrances I think people overlook and don't talk about because it's made by Marc Ecko. And that is a travesty. Guys, you should pay attention to some fragrances because you're gonna miss out. Does it smell like orange? Yes. Yes, it does. When you spray it on, the first thing you're gonna get is a bright but bitter blast of orange. But when it dries down, it has that same type of vibe that you get from Manu Fresh or something like that. You just get this nice, easy, crisp freshness that doesn't come off like you're trying too hard or you're trying to do too much. You just smell good. Perfect for a nice spring day where it's windy. And again, this is one that's gonna come off of your shirt, off of your skin, and just get in the air. And people are gonna be like, it's not a monster performer, it's not a monster projector, but it does smell really, really good. When it dries down, you're just left with this nice, sweet, easy to wear type of scent. Any age group can pull this off, but I think the youngsters would pull that one off the best. And that's what I wore Saturday while I was chilling. As I got ready to leave and go partake in some activities Saturday night, reached for one that I haven't had in my collection very long, but I was proud to get, and I did this in a What's New to the Collection video a couple of days ago. It's from the house of Polo, and it is Polo Ultra Blue. Got several compliments on this. Surprisingly, I got several compliments on this. I think this is one of those fragrances like Eternity Air. I had another one in mind. Definitely Eternity Air. Eternity Aqua. Very, very light, fresh, airy, easy to wear. Great for the office. It smells good. Now, again, it is the definition of soft, subtle projection. That's what you get from this. That's what you get from this. Stopped in a convenience store to pick up a soda pop and use the restroom real quick. And when I went to pay, and I'd had it on for a while at that point, and the young lady was like, "Ooh, whatever, I don't know what you're wearing, but whatever that is, it smells really good." And I told her, I said, it's Polo Ultra Blue. She said, "I didn't even know they had that." I said, "Yeah, they do." She said, "Well, you smell good." And it was this, and it had been on for a couple of hours. My suggestion to you with this one is if you want to wear this, I'm thinking it may do better in the heat, in the high heat. It had cooled off a little bit Saturday evening because it rained all night Friday and, cut up and acted crazy. And then it warmed up Saturday, but then Saturday night, as it does in the springtime, the night got cool. But my suggestion is you take your little decant of this, but think Polo Blue, but lighter and fresher, more citrus instead of incense. But I do think it's one that would be great for the office, close encounter type situations, church, or if you're involved with somebody that just don't like heavy fragrances, or you don't like heavy fragrances, this could be a staple daily driver fragrance. But understand it's not gonna perform the best, so you're gonna need a decant. I think you'll be lucky if you get 4.5 to 5 hours out of this. But if you shop like I did and get this for $19, I really think you'll be happy and satisfied with it. And you'll have a good fragrance in your collection. And that brings us to the end, and this is what I wore Saturday night, guys. Pretty decent little repertoire fragrances. I tried to mix it up a little bit, and like I said, I've got tons more fragrances to get to. Doing these type of videos has really made me dig off into my collection, so I'm very thankful. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you sticking through my videos and sticking it out with the kid. Appreciate it, and thank you for helping me reach 3,000 plus subs, as we are well on our way to 3,100. Greatly appreciate you guys. With that being said, I'm gonna get off of here, edit it, thumbnail it, and get it up so you guys can watch it. Thinking about doing a wish list video because there's some new fragrances that came out that are definitely on my wish list. If you're curious to see that, let me know in the comments, or let me know maybe a video that you'd want to see. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here, thumbnail it, and edit it so I can get it up to you guys. You know the drill. I love you all. Please be active in the comment sections. And I thank you all for returning to the scene of the crime and being the best part of my channel. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.